Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. Match day 6 deadline stream, the final one of the year. No Champions League football until like February or something like that. But let's enjoy the final one of this year. How are you guys? Nice seeing you as always. Big one this week. Match day 6 is usually the toughest week. Match day 6 is definitely the toughest week because of player rotation, or players expected to be rotated. But for most of the teams, most of the players have traveled. So maybe teams could just play their players for like 50, 60 minutes and then maybe switch after that. But let's see what happens. Let me say hi to you guys. Ray, how are you? You were here like 3 hours ago. I appreciate it. I also put a poll in the chat asking you like which did you play a limitless this week? Are you playing your wild card? Are you just making your 2 transfers, or are you going to take a hit? Or if you have 3 transfers, are you going to do that as well? Ray says Haaland, Morata, Siemens. Haaland will definitely not play. Jude, Rodri, Mendes will definitely not play. Di Lorenzo, Lewis, Cancelo, Rombla, Soma, Kane, Nacho, Sanis are just for Haaland and Mendes as they both are injured. From that, Haaland, let's see, you already have Morata, Siemens, you already have Kane and Mendes as well. I'll probably be looking at Çalhanoğlu, as a replacement for Mendes if he can afford it. So I'm sure he can afford it. Or Thuram as well is expected to start. So Thuram is cheaper. So I'd go for Thuram instead of Mendes. And then for Haaland, that one is a tough one. I don't think there's that many strike. Probably I'd go for Icardi. I'd go for Icardi to replace Haaland. That's what I would do. If you have Haaland, I'd go for Icardi. I currently have Alvarez in my team, but I'm waiting to hear if there's any last minute news, if he's going to start or anything like that. Ray says you're on fire. We are back, says Baron. Saha says, hey, Glenn, replacement on Cancelo is reported not to play and a Wednesday goalkeeper for clean sheet. I currently actually have Cancelo in my team. Depends on how the rest of your team is looking, Saha, but I don't know if you have these players or not. I'd probably suggest Trippier as a Cancelo replacement or someone like a Hakimi. I think that group, they have a lot to play for. Those players could do well. Another option is Di Lorenzo, so it depends on who you already have in your team. Goalkeepers for Wednesday, I'd pick Ortega Moreno, the second choice goalkeeper from Man City. How are you, mate? Bring Griezmann or Osimhen, says Chucha. Is it Chucha or Kuka? Let me know. Trippier or Di Lorenzo. Bring in Griezmann or Osimhen. I'd probably go for Griezmann and then Trippier or Di Lorenzo. I'd go for Di Lorenzo. So yeah, one Napoli player, Griezmann and Di Lorenzo. How are you, Ray? Do you think Bellingham will play? Says Saha. From what I've had the Real Madrid fans saying, most of their lineups and most of their fans are saying he's the one who definitely should be rested. So I think he's not going to be on the bench for the whole 90 minutes. I think he will play. He traveled, so the worry is they might start him and then sub him off at halftime. That is the risk. I don't think he'll be playing for 90 minutes. So the most I'd say Bellingham will play for 45 minutes to 60 minutes. So that's the worry. He might come off the bench or he might start the game. But I currently have him in my team, and I think I'll just keep him because so many people have him. And the fact that they're playing today, I think, helps as well. So even if he doesn't play or comes on and gets only 1 point, hopefully you have a good bench for tomorrow. Andre says, here we go. I have Kane, Odegaard, and Chananoglu, and I think none of them will play. Should I go for the -4? The predictor lineups are saying that Chananoglu will play. I've seen someone saying Chananoglu will play. The Inter Milan fans confirmed lineup for Inter Milan. So Chananoglu will play. Odegaard, we have to wait and see. Personally, as an Arsenal fan, I don't want Odegaard to be anywhere near that pitch, but all of them have traveled, so he might play. But again, it's another one who I don't think he'll be playing for 90 minutes as well. Kane will play. Kane, Tuchel wants to prove a point back in England. Kane wants to play against Man United. He wants to score against them, so Kane will definitely play. And the fact that they lost 5-1 the other day to Frankfurt also helps. I think he'll definitely play. Now, for me, I'm coming to the rest of your questions. I'm very scared at the moment. I've never been this high in terms of rank in the UCL fantasy. If the week goes well, I might be in the top 100, but if the week goes badly, I might drop back down to 1,000. So that is why I'm scared of taking out players like Bellingham. So my current team is Ramiro and Blasic in goal. I have Saliba, Di Lorenzo, Lewis, Rom, and Cancelo as my back five. So there's rumors that Cancelo might not play. Rom is a 50-50. Lewis, I think, will play. Di Lorenzo, I think he'll play. Saliba, I have to wait and see. Whichever way, I think PSV will score against Arsenal, so I'm not expecting a clean sheet there. I wouldn't even play Saliba as an Arsenal fan. I don't want him here near that game, but he could play. But there's a youngster called Walters that might start, so that could mean Saliba not playing. Midfield, I currently have Foden, Kimmich, Sudakov, Saka, Bellingham. I think Sudakov will definitely play. They have a big game against FC Porto. Kimmich will probably play as well. Foden, I don't think he'll play. Bellingham, I think he'll play, but maybe 50 to 60 minutes there. Saka, I think he might play, but he might also just come off the bench. That is another worry. Up front, I think Kane will play. Alvarez, since Haaland is not there, and Haaland might also miss the Crystal Palace game this weekend. I mean, FPL Focal on Twitter found Haaland's father, the group that they have on the mini league they have on FPL, and one of Haaland's family has transferred him out. So that could mean he's going to be out for the league game as well. So that could mean Alvarez gets rested today so that he plays over the weekend, because they've already gone through. they've already gone through. They don't have a lot of strikers, man. They've just realized, like, if Haaland and Alvarez are not there, they really don't have any other striker. And then Rodrigo as well is in my team, but another one that I've seen Real Madrid fans asking for to be rested. So I do have 3 transfers. I only made 1 transfer in the last match day, so I have 3 transfers. I'm waiting to see the Arsenal lineup. If Saka and Saliba do not play, I'm taking them out. If Saka starts, I'll leave him in my team. So let's see how that one works. Let's see. Baron says Ken Alvarez, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Rodric, and Anoglu, Saliba. 2 transfers left. Any players to transfer? You have the exact forward line that I do. I think Rodri surely rests. I don't think Rodri will play. Rodri is so important to Man City. If he plays a game like this and gets injured, as we've seen, Man City always lose like without Rodri. So I would assume he doesn't start in Calvin Phillips starts. So Rodri definitely has to go out. There's a good option Inter Milan. Thuram. If you already have Çalhanoğlu, so I don't know if you'd want to double up on Inter Milan because Thuram will definitely start in midfield. Saliba, Di Lorenzo, Kim, Cancelo, Mayan, the rest of the team does not look bad. I think the likes of Simmons and Rom could get a few minutes here and there, but I don't think they'll play 90 minutes. Kim might start. I think Bayern Munich will go strong because they lost 5-1 and they're back in England to play against Man United. I think that most of their players will play. The only concern is the likes of Alvarez and Rodrigo. Absolutely no idea. Bellingham I just keep because he's so highly owned and he's playing today. So even if he doesn't perform, hopefully you have players on the bench. But the first one I'll be looking to transfer out is Rodri, maybe for Thuram or someone. And then let's wait and see for any piece of news, Bayern in the next 1 hour or something. Ray says so Alvarez is not a good pick in place of Haaland. I mean, if you already have him, I just keep him for now. But if you have Haaland, I would not take out Haaland and bring in Alvarez. No, you rather bring in the strikers who are definitely going to play, the likes of Morata and those guys. It's too risky to bring in Alvarez. Unless you already had him and you have other problems to sort out, then you can take the risk. Will Saka be rotated? Because I do have the funds to get him. I would not be getting in Saka. But luckily, we get to see the Arsenal team news. So let's wait and see what the Arsenal team news is. Sa says, how about this forward line, Openda, Kane, and Jimenez? You can suggest any changes. I don't mind Kane. I don't mind Jimenez. They still have something to play for. I think Feyenoord still have something to play for. Openda, Leipzig already through as well, second in the group. So I think Leipzig have other options up front. So if you still have any transfers, maybe I'd be looking to take out Openda. He does have a very easy fixture, though. So if he plays, he might score. But the only worry with players like Openda, they're playing tomorrow. So if you have him in your lineup and he doesn't play, that's a problem. You can take a couple of risks if the players are playing today. So Arsenal, Real Madrid, all those guys. If they're playing today, you can have maybe 2 or 3 players in the lineup that you're not sure if they're going to play or not. Because even if 2 of them play, fine. If all 3 of them play and maybe get 1.5 points, then you easily take away the one that has 1 point to bring on your players from the bench. But maybe Openda would be looking to take out Saha and have one player that is definitely going to play, players like Morata or players like that. If you can afford it, let me know if you can afford it. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Okay. I'll stick to Çalhanoğlu. I'll stick with Çalhanoğlu. The lineups are saying that he's going to start, so I'll just keep him. Do you think Mbappe or Alvarez? I'd get Mbappe. FIFA bot says, "Hi Glenn, how are you?" Wait, what Haaland's family play FPL? Yeah, someone found Haaland's FPL and they went to his mini leagues and he plays the mini league with his dad, I think with his sisters and I think brothers-in-law and stuff like that. And all of them took out Haaland from their team. So maybe they know something we don't know. So I don't know if he's going to be back this weekend. And I don't think they need to risk him against Crystal Palace. So even if you play FPL, I don't think Haaland will be there this weekend as well. Mendes and Haaland injured, whom to take transferring them. There's players like Thuram in midfield, but there's Morata. There is depends on who else you have up front. Morata is a good option. Griezmann is a good option. And also Icardi is a good option. Would you go for Thuram or ZH? Says Quentin. I'm thinking about the exact two of those players. Quentin. I'd probably go for ZH, mostly because that Galatasaray group, Man United, Bayern, Copenhagen, they've had a lot of 4 threes, 3 threes, 3 twos. So that group is very open. That game could be another 3-2 or 3-3. So I'd potentially go for ZH because I'm expecting another very attacking game in that match between them and Copenhagen. Sarah says, do you think Trippier can get me a clean sheet and Hakimi can get me one? I don't think Hakimi will get you a clean sheet. I expect Dortmund to score. And I also don't think Trippier will get you a clean sheet. I expect Messi Milan to score. Maybe the thing with those two players is attacking potential. Both of them can get you attacking points. Kane, Morata, Haaland, Simmons, Bellingham, whom to transfer? 2 transfers left. Definitely Haaland and Mendes, as we've already spoken about. Those two definitely need to go out. Ray says, Galeno. Galeno is also another good option because they have something to play for FC Porto. I think it's around 6.8 million, if I'm not wrong. So I think it's also a good option if you want him in the team. Should I take Foden in exchange of Brais Mendes? I'd not be bringing in Foden. There's a huge chance he can be rotated. So you don't want to waste your transfer. Just go for players who are definitely going to play. The reason Foden is in my team is because he's always been in my team like for the last 3 match days, and I have other things to deal with. But if Saka starts today and Saliba starts, I might end up taking Foden out. But I'd not be bringing him in. There's a lot of other players you can bring in who are definitely going to start. I'm using the limitless. You can suggest any changes, say Saha. I've done a full video on the limitless. There's a video on the channel. I talked about every single option, and in a very good position. If you have a limitless, you're very, very lucky. You can afford a lot of players. So the likes of Kvaratskhelia, you can go for them. You can go for Di Lorenzo. You can go for All Black in goal. If you're playing your limitless, you're in a good position. Do you think I should get Galeno, Phil Foden? I'd say Galeno, Hamad, ZH or Icardi. I'd go for Icardi if you're choosing between those two. Adib says, are you fine? Please, do you think -4 is good? I'm doing good. -4 depends. If you have like 13 players, I would not take a -4. Unless you have like only 8 or 9 players and you have like 6 players and you have Haaland and you have Mendes and you have players like Foden who are not expected to play, and you have Martinelli and players like that who are not expected to play, then you can take a -4. But if you have 11 players and then maybe 2 on the bench, or if you only have 1 goalkeeper, stay like that. Don't take a -4 unless you're very like your players are, most of your players are out. That's when I'd play. Let's say a minimum of if you have 12 players and less, then I'd take a -4. But if you have like 13, 14, I'd not be taking a -4. Any differential for this match day, says Andres. Differential for this match day. That's a tough one. I'm waiting to see the Arsenal lineup against PSV. I think Trossard, if he starts, could be a differential. I think Sevilla playing against Lons. Sevilla have to win to go through. Sevilla love to go to the Europa League. I have a feeling that Sevilla will definitely get something to go to the Europa League. So maybe Nesri as well, the striker from Sevilla. Ray says, what about Kerem? I actually don't know who that guy. I'm assuming he's playing for Galatasaray. Let me just check his name. I'm not familiar with him. Kerem. Let me see, Kerem. Yeah, Galatasaray, obviously. Let's see. 6 million, not bad. Did he score against Man United? Let me see. Oh, he's one of the players who scored against Man United. Which goal did he score? Did he score the third one, the volley or something from the right side? Yeah, I think because he had scored twice. So yeah, I know him because I remember him scoring the third goal against Man United. So I'd go for who the hell is calling me right now? So I'd go for, I don't think it's a bad option. You can go for him. I think that game is going to be open, Ray. Good shout. I think 6 million. I think that game will be very open, so it's not bad at all. The best replacement for Dumfries, DiMarco, or final defense? The best replacement for Dumfries, you can go for Achebi. Achebi is going to play. You can go for, I think, Augusto from Inter Milan as well. So those are the options. DiMarco is not bad as well. How about Gabriel Jesus up front? I mean, who else will play forward? Nketiah? Yeah, he could play. He could play forward as well. He is another option who could play forward. Saha says, how about Mbappe, Griezmann for my third striker? I have Kane and Jimenez. Mbappe, Griezmann for my third striker. I have Kane and Jimenez. I'd go for. That's a tough one. I feel like Mbappe is going to at least score one goal this week, so I'm going to. But still, I like Griezmann and Morata have been so good in the Champions League this season, so I'm going to go with Griezmann. Omar says, shout out best 5 midfielders for Limitless. I did a full video on that one. You can check the page, Omar. I can check the channel. I can give you a couple though. Kvaratskhelia and I think I had Nabri on that video, but Nabri is now injured. So I'd go for Kvaratskhelia and potentially Sane because I think Sane will play. Baron says captain for this match day. There's a lot of options. Griezmann, Morata, Kane if he plays. If Bellingham is playing for 60 minutes, how about Brahim Diaz? He might play striker and get goals. It's also a good option. The only worry is if you're thinking of taking out Bellingham, if Bellingham plays and scores, there's like 80% of people who have him. So that's a no. I'd not want to take him out unless he's definitely out and he's traveled. So let's see. I'd definitely keep Bellingham, but Brahim Diaz is not bad. FIFA bot says, will Doku play? No, I don't think so. I don't think he'll be risked. That Real Madrid Saha, I think it's very risky, like to know who's going to play. Unless we just wait for if we get closer to the deadline, maybe you'll hear something about that. Alvarez or Rodrigo, I'd actually say none, but if you're to ask me to choose, I'd say Alvarez. I'm scared about both of them potentially not playing. Is there any information about the rotation of Barcelona players? No, I've not seen anything. Yet. They play on Wednesday, so maybe the earliest we get any information is the next couple of hours. I'd not risk any Barcelona players. I think I've seen Lewandowski is going to be out, so there's that. How are you? That's incredible. Less likely to start Saliba or Cancelo. I'd say Saliba, but we get to see how the Arsenal team is in the next few minutes. So let's just wait and see who is starting for Arsenal. That will help you a lot. That's incredible. I've got Kepa and Ramirez goalkeeper. Will Kepa start? I don't think so. I think they could stick with Lunin. I think Ramiro will concede. I think he will too. I mean, very many teams in the Champions League are very good. So for the goalkeepers, I don't really expect a clean sheet. I just hope if some of the goalkeepers get 1 point and 2 points, this one gets 3 or 4. I can't figure out whom to take up front. I want everyone. Yeah, there's a lot of options. There's Griezmann, there's Morata, there's Kane, there's Icardi as well. There's a lot of options. What do you think about Yamal? I think I had him in the Limitless video. I think he might start on that right wing. Do you think I should get Rom or Tino Livramento? I'd not be getting in Rom. If you don't have him, I'd not bring him in because he's also a rotation risk. I'm not sure. I'm not well educated on the bench players from Leipzig and the defenders and all that. Maybe he just plays every single day. Livramento could be a good option, but Ban is now, I think, back in training or something. If Jesus is starting, I'm taking him. He has scored a lot in the Champions League. I think he scored in every one of the 4 games he's played. CPL says hello from Canada. Nice seeing you. Limitless active, good balance. Kane, Griezmann, Morata, Simmons, Foden, Galeno, Bellingham, Kvaratskhelia, Trippier, Rome, Cancelo, Molina, Di Lorenzo. Goalkeeper wise, I'm fine with Kane, Griezmann, Morata. Maybe I wouldn't double up on Atletico. Maybe I'd go for an Icardi instead of maybe a Morata and stick with Griezmann. I definitely have a Galatasaray player there. That group is very high scoring, so I definitely have either Ziyech or Icardi. Simmons, Foden, Galeno, Bellingham, Foden. They have Crystal Palace this weekend, and then they have the Club World Cup. I don't think players like Foden have to play. So there's players like Nunes who've never really played, Kovacic, Phillips. But I don't think they have that many players up front as well. So maybe Alvarez or Foden has to start because they don't have enough players. For me, I wouldn't if I'm playing my limitless, I wouldn't go for any rotation risks at all. Like I would not have Foden, I'd not have Simmons, I'd have the players that are like 100% going to play. Players like Thuram from Inter Milan, and let's wait and hear the team news from the Arsenal game as well. But the most of the team is good. I think it's a good balance. Maybe apart from the striker, CPL, maybe I'd change Morata to a different striker from a different team. Probably Icardi. Predicted lineup says Rodrigo and Bellingham will start. Yeah, I've seen that as well, but I've seen a lot of Real Madrid fans complain that no, Rodrigo needs a rest. He shouldn't be playing. So maybe the coach is thinking the same as them. Rayan says Kane Alvarez opened. A lot of people have Siemens. I don't think I've had Siemens this whole season. Gundogan. I don't think Gundogan will play. Defense, Ake, Cancelo, Rom, Lorenzo, Garcia, Soma, Ter Stegen. I also don't think Ter Stegen will play, but I'd stick with one goalkeeper. I'd just stay with Soma. I wouldn't make a transfer for a goalkeeper unless the rest of your team is looking good. So from that, Cancelo, Ake. I think Ake might start. I think Garcia might start. De Lorenzo is fine. Gondwan is also a very iffy one for me. I have a feeling Simons and Openda, I can't see both of them playing. Surely one of them is going to be rested. So for the goalkeeper, just stay with one goalkeeper. Rehan, just stay with Soma. Just keep Ter Stegen there. I don't think he'll play though. I'm just hope that Soma gives you the points. But I'd be looking for Foden, let's wait and see for the next 1 hour if you're going to get any news on Man City. It's very difficult to predict Man City's team. It's almost impossible. The only thing we can say is Haaland is not going to play. The rest of the team, maybe Gundogan as well could be an option to take out. I'll be looking at Chananoglu, and if you want another Barcelona player, maybe Yamal as well. You can go for a more. I think Ferran Torres will start in this one. Best midfielder to take, already have Bellingham, Saka, Siemens, and Sudakov. Best midfielder to take: Bellingham, Saka, Siemens, and Sudakov. Thuram or Chananoglu from Inter Milan, because I think we've gotten their team news, so that is a safe pick. And for the likes of Saka, let's wait and see if he's going to start. But those would be my options: Thuram, or if you can you afford Kvaratskhelia? Kvaratskhelia could be a good option as well if you can afford him. So do you think I should get Ban or Livermore? I think you should not get any, Ahmad. But if you really want them, I'd probably go for Livermore because Ban is just coming from an injury. Will Kepa or Lonin play? I'd say Lonin. If Jesus isn't starting, I'll take Icardi. That's another good option. Ancelotti said Kepa gonna start. If he said it, I still wouldn't go for any of their players. I think Union Berlin will score anyway. And depends on the rotation that is in front of even if Kepa starts, depends on the rotation that is in front of him. If you already have Kepa, keep him. But if you don't have Kepa, there's a lot of other goalkeepers you can go for. All Black, I think Ramsdale might start for us. So let's wait and see the team is. Yamal, ZH, or Kvaratskhelia, I'd go for ZH, Saha. Let me see the Kepa. Let me see the Kepa one. Kepa. Let me see if there's any news on Kepa and Lunin. Ray says more likely Raya will start. It would be crazy because Ramsdale has never gotten a Champions League game, and we are already through. I don't see the need of him playing. Maybe for confidence, I don't know. If I was a manager, to be honest, if you're already through, you would not see me playing Bellingham or Saka or Rodrigo. All of them will be on the bench. I'd play the second team players like Ferran Torres and Trossard, and if it's Real Madrid, Garcia, players like that who never really play that much. Even goalkeepers, I'd probably go for Kepa because he's not been starting recently. Perez says Morata, Griezmann, Lautaro, Thuram, Bellingham. That's your team. Forward line, you have a lot of Atletico Madrid players and Inter Milan players. I mean, they have something to play for, so I think that's a safe way to look at it. Trippier is, I think, 1 yellow card away from being suspended, but that doesn't matter because this is the final group match. Morata and Griezmann, I do not mind. Lautaro, I've seen predicted lineup saying Sanchez is going to start instead of Lautaro. So that is another maybe we need to transfer out. Did you imagine 1 year ago Arsenal will be in the round of 16? Not really. Now I'm imagining we can be in the final, how things change. Will Bellingham start? Says Sorav. That's a tough one. I think he will play, but I don't think he'll play 90 minutes. So I'm thinking maybe one half starting or coming on. Alan says, Ben, you got the same points. I saw that. I know your team is called Biscuits. I saw. You're the only reason why I'm not comfortably top of the Everything Football League. I saw that, Alan. You're now a threat. So, Alan, I might not be giving you any more advice. You're now a competitor. You're now someone I cannot be giving advice. You're now a competitor. Of course, I'm just joking. But yeah, you're doing great. I think it's 4:15. You're doing great as well. This season is my worst season, says Ray. This season is actually my best in UCL fantasy and also in FPL. I did drop the last 2 weeks though from around like 20k to like 200k because Haaland didn't play and I didn't have my vice captain on Salah the other day, so that cost me a lot. But yeah, in terms of fantasy, this is the best one. I've never been this high, so I'm I'm buzzing. I'm hoping I can get into the top 100. So in terms of transfers, let me think about what I can do with the transfers. I'm definitely thinking of ZH. I'm just waiting to see whether Saka is going to play. ZH could be an option. Icardi could be an option as well. And depends. Since I'm an Arsenal fan, most of you might not go for so many Arsenal players, but since I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll probably bring in a differential from Arsenal who is playing. Someone like is Trossard a midfield in this game or a striker? Let me see. I don't think Arsenal will beat PSV. I'm thinking a draw or maybe even a PSV win, unless Arteta goes strong. Jesus is 8.6. Trossard is a midfielder, 7.6. So Trossard has done well in the Champions League so far. Martinelli is definitely not going to play. Alan says, I've been in the Real Madrid versus Napoli game last week, first time in a UCL match. Man, you're lucky. Real Madrid-Napoli, what was the score? Oh, I know it was being played in Spain. Who won that game? I think Real Madrid scored 3 goals, if my memory serves me right. Did Real Madrid score 3 goals? I know Rodrigo scored in that game because I had him. I think Bellingham assisted as well in that game, Madrid. And I think it was it 3-1 or something? Oh, it was 4-2. There was more goals. I think Rodrigo and Bellingham both scored in that game. In FPL, I'm doing good. The which rank, Ray? Do you think Cancelo plays? There's rumors that he might know, but I'm thinking he will. But I don't think he'll. There's a season I had Cancelo and he was subbed off at halftime. I could see something like that happening, and then it just hurts you even more. Like if Barcelona end up keeping a clean sheet. I do have him in my team, and I'm not really looking to take him out because I have other problems. I have so many doubts. Saka, Simmons, Cancelo, Foden, Jude. Jude I'd keep. You have to save rank because if you take out Jude and he plays and he scores in a bit of a problem. So just keep him because how many people have Jude Bellingham right now? 74%. That's a lot of people, Alan. I'd not take him out anyway. Saka, let's wait for the Arsenal team news. Foden, I have a feeling he might not play. Let's wait for the team news and then we'll have a better picture. And let's wait for the Arsenal and the Lens and the Sevilla team news. Do you think I should keep Saliba? Let's wait for the team news as well. Luckily, we get the Arsenal team news, so we'll get the answer before the deadline. Will Sane play for full 90 minutes? I don't think so. Unless they just want to completely destroy Man United, which I think they will. I don't think they need 90 minutes to do it. Sorry to any Man United fans watching. As an Arsenal fan, I don't want Saliba to play, so I'd be very disappointed to see Saliba playing. So hopefully, I'd stay thinking the same. Yamal or Kvaratskhelia, I'd go for Kvaratskhelia because they have something to play for. 120K. That's high. That's high because there's like 10 million playing. Will Joao Felix play? I'd say no, surely. Though there's no reason for players like Felix to play. They have players like Ferran Torres who can play off the bench, and Yamal, players who don't play that much. Torres, Yamal, they can all play. If Saka and Jesus play, I'm taking both. Could be an option. Could be an option. Although I think PSV is very tough away. I think PSV have won 15 games out of 15 in the league, 45 points. Like they're on absolute form. Like I'm scared. Like I don't want. If we rotate too much, they could thump us. I don't care about the game really because Arsenal already through, but we don't want to lose 6-0. So Jesus, I wouldn't risk. I think Nketiah will get game time. I'm not taking him out. I don't know if you want to take a hit for that and they suddenly start. I don't like taking hits, especially in Champions League fantasy. Players like Bellingham is playing today. So if he starts and he only gets 1 point, then you have a good bench. You can just take him off and bring on someone. If he was playing on Wednesday night, then it would have been a problem. But Tuesday, I think Tuesday is good enough. You can just keep him in the team. For Saka, let's wait and see whether they're going to play. For Foden, let's wait and see if you're going to hear any news. Doku is not there, so I'm imagining Grealish will play. I'm imagining Kovacic will play. Phillips will play. Nunes will play. Forward line, I don't think they have too many players, so maybe one of Alvarez or Foden has to play. And both will score 2 goals each. I'd absolutely love that. Ryan says so it on Twitter. You might get for the news here. There's a couple of pages that are very accurate in terms of Man City. Kane, Morata choose the third, just one name. Morata, Kane, choose the third, just one name. Icardi, FIFA bot. Which Barcelona defender would you choose? I'd probably go for their second choice goalkeeper, but if you're looking for a defender, maybe Balde at left back. Do you think Bruno is a good option for yellow cards? Yes. That group has a lot of goals, so I don't think Bayern Munich will beat Man United and Man United will not score. I think Bayern Munich will win, but I don't think Man United will finish the game with 0. So I'm thinking maybe 3-2 Bayern or something. So maybe for this week is a good option because he's also suspended for the weekend. So maybe he'll just want to really play with all his energy today. But also be prepared for a yellow card there, Ahmad. PSV scored 52 goals, conceded only 6. Yeah, I saw that as well. They are scoring a bunch of goals too. They are scary. Good early kickoffs today and tomorrow. Yeah, most of the players are playing in those fixtures. I wish Real Madrid were playing early as well. Would you sell Foden, Alvarez, and Sané? I don't think I'll sell both Man City players. I'll keep one. But I'd not be surprised if both of them are on the bench or not even playing. Sané, I'd keep. Saliba, Hamels, who would you transfer out? Odegaard, Fernandes. For the Arsenal players, let's wait for the team news. Griezmann, Kane, keep. Goalkeepers, keep. Hamels, probably keep. I don't know if both Davis and Hamels will start, though. I doubt. Saliba, Fernandes, Timber. I'd go for. Who would you transfer out? Man, that's a tough one. I'd keep the Bayern Munich players. I'm worried about. They lost 5-1, so they could go strong, but I'm worried about players being subbed off early. But I think that's them they will play. Let's wait for the Arsenal team news. Odegaard and Saliba. There's a chance Saliba might not play. So Andres, I'd wait for a bit. I'd wait for another like 1 hour before, not 1 hour, like maybe 40 minutes before I make the transfer. I think the Arsenal team news will help us a lot in terms of making the transfers. Let's see. Let me see if I can get any news on Arsenal. There's rumors. I'm hearing rumors that Saliba is starting, but will he play the whole? or not starting, like in the squad, not confirmed that he's starting. Gabriel might start, Havertz might start. I don't think Saka will start. I think it would be crazy to start Saka. I think he would be mad to start. I wouldn't even have gone with Saka to PSV. I'd leave him in England. Ryan says looks like Saka is not starting. Looks like that. Yep. Let me see. Hi, Glenn. After Stegen and Sommer. Sommer will play, but for Ter Stegen, I don't think he'll play. I feel like everyone in my team is a rotation risk, says Jay. Just a moment. Let me get what. Just give me a moment. Sorry, guys. Sa says, how about Osman for my third striker, Hoyland? Not Hoyland has got a lot of goals in the Champions League. Although I'm just not a fan of Man United, to be honest. Not because I'm an Arsenal fan, but maybe Bruno. I'm not sure about Hoyland. I'd go for Osman, to be honest. Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, Trippier, Saliba, Dumfries, Lopez, Foden, Sane, Mendes. Mendes is injured. Bellingham, Alvarez, Morata, and Kane. What to do with so many injuries? No chips anymore. You hopefully still have your two transfers. Let's see. Ruben Diaz. The chances of Ruben Diaz playing are very minimal. Trippier, Saliba, Dumfries. Dumfries is injured, so you definitely need to take out Dumfries. I'd take out Dumfries and bring in a Chebi or a Gusto from Inter Milan. That's the first step I'd make, Ezra. And then for the rest, let's wait and see whether the likes of Saliba are starting. Andre says, thank you. I appreciate it, Andres. No problem. I'm going to put Mbappe instead of Haaland and put Galeno instead of Mendes. Mbappe instead of Haaland, yeah, that makes sense. That's not a bad transfer. And I have Rayson and he's injured, and I'm still thinking, is it worth a minus? How many players do you have, Ahmad? If you have 12 or 13 players, you can keep Rayson. You don't have to transfer him out. I'm gonna make the transfer, make a choice. Says Saha says I'm going to make a transfer. I'm going to go for Osimhen. Let me see if there's any answers. Nelson starts for Arsenal. The team is not out yet, but I'm hearing Nelson starts. I seriously don't want to see any first team players, so I'm already ready to take out the likes of Saka and Salah. I don't want to see them in the team. Would you transfer in Galeno Kvashel? I'd go for. That's a tough one. I'm tempted to say Galeno because I feel like FC Porto Shakhtar would be like a 3-2 or something. What about Odegaard? Let's wait and see. So we have the Arsenal team. Guys. We have the Arsenal team. Arsenal have not told us, but we have the Arsenal team. Ramsdale is the goalkeeper, so we've gotten that. Ramsdale is the goalkeeper. So if you want a differential goalkeeper, Ramsdale is starting. Saliba is starting as well, and Gabriel is starting. I didn't want those players to start, man. So Saliba and Gabriel are both playing. So if you have Saliba, you can keep him. Kivio is starting and Cedric as well. Midfield, Jorginho, El Neni, and Havertz. So Havertz is starting as well. I'm tempted, I'm very tempted. Up front, Trossard, Nketiah, and Nelson, as I predicted. So the ones I didn't get was Saliba and Gabriel. I didn't think so. Odegaard is not playing. Odegaard is not there. FIFA bots, you can, if you have him, start taking match. I like Joao Mario. He scored a hat-trick last time. I feel Benfica have to win heavy, so it's also not a bad option. So not bad. Nketiah, Trossard, Nelson, Havertz, Jorginho. Rice is not playing, thankfully. I know you didn't want Saliba to play, man. If Saliba gets injured, we are so screwed. So you can send in your questions concerning if you have any Arsenal players. Let me see if there's any other team news. Mbappe, Morata, Osimhen, and tell me, Galeno, Mario, Morata, Osimhen, and tell me version. Yeah. Oh, you've added Mario to the list, Saha. Wow, that's hard. Saka is not playing, but Mario, Galeno, Yamal. The funny thing is, I'm trying to decide between those ones as well. I'd go for Galeno and then Kvashel and then Mario and then Yamal in that order. So I'd go for Galeno. Do I put Rodrigo captain? I think it's too risky to go with players who are not confirmed to start. I'd go for a player who has something to play for. Who is your captain? I will decide. Currently, it's Harry Kane, but I'm going to decide if we get any team news. Saka is not starting. It's Nelson on the right side. Never been. You can follow me on Twitter, by the way, at Glenn Kitely. So Saka is not there. Odegaard is not there. Jesus is not there as well. I wouldn't advise you guys to go for an Arsenal player, but being an Arsenal fan, I'm definitely going to bring in an Arsenal player. But this is a massive differential. Lens and Sevilla scored out. Thank you, Ahmad. Let me check that as well. Tips on Limitless, says Daxter. There's a whole video on that on the channel, Daxter. But if you have a Limitless, you are very lucky because there's a lot of transfers to be made. As you can see, if people had Saka or Odegaard or Haaland, there's a lot of players who need to be transferred out. I'm going to put the link for you in the chat. Limitless. I have 3 transfers, so I'm going to use all 3 of them. There's the link, Daxter. I'm checking the lineup right now, Ahmed. Odegaard is not playing, and I don't trust Saliba to keep a clean sheet. I don't think Arsenal is going to keep a clean sheet as well. With the rotation, should both of them be transferred from my team? Depends on how the rest of your team looks, Andres. Since Saliba is starting, I'd keep him just because he's starting. There's a huge chance some of the other players won't start. So you rather just keep the one who is starting, even if they're not going to get a clean sheet. The thing with Champions League football, they don't have to keep a clean sheet. They can get recovery points, he can get a goal, and you end up getting 6-7 points either way, even if he doesn't keep a clean sheet. A defender from Galatasaray or not, if you think a defender, maybe Boy. I think he plays right back. But I think that is a very high scoring game, Baron. So I think both teams will concede. Brahim Diaz is a good option as a mid. I've not considered him, but maybe if you want a differential. I can't decide who to transfer in, Galeno, Zaha, ZH, or Trossard. Says that's incredible. I've not thought about Zaha. Zaha would be in the list on the last one on that list for me. I'd say from those ones, I think ZH is the best, and then followed by Galeno and then Trossard. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Arsenal. Ryan says Oliver Torres playing as a striker for Sevilla. Sevilla team. Okay, I've got the PSV team. Who's playing for PSV? Benitez, Teze, Ramalno, Bakayoko. I mean, PSV have rotated the squad as well, so maybe that is good news for Arsenal. Tillman is playing though, Van Arnold, Bakayoko, Pepe, Vetsen. I mean, there's a lot of rotation in the PSV team as well. Arsenal's bench has Jesus, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Rice, Zinchenko, White. I don't want to see any of them, to be honest. I want all of them to rest. Let me check that Sevilla lineup. I'm thinking of about 10 players that I want to bring on. Keep sending in your questions. So Sevilla, they have Nesri and Torres. You're right, Rehan. Torres is playing up front. Rakitic, Sumaris. So how much is Torres? Severe. Torres. 5.8 million. My goodness, that's very cheap. Rakitic, Sumaris. So they have Pedrosa, Salas, Ramos, Yanlu, and Guldel, and then Dimitrovic in goal. Lons have Samba, Gradit, Danso, Medina. I don't think any of you will be going for any Lons players anyway, but Wahi is playing up front if you've considered him as an option. So Saka is not playing, so Saka needs to go out. So let me make my first sub. Saka out. Man. Sudakov, Kimmich, Foden. I'm really thinking of taking out Foden. Let me see if there's any Man City team news on Foden. Last time when I made my subs from Man City, I was trying to decide between Bellingham and Haaland. I made the most terrible choice. I basically kept Bellingham and sold Haaland. Haaland ended up starting and scoring 2 goals. Bellingham ended up not playing. That was a painful one. I'm hoping I make the right decision this time because I'm thinking of taking out one from Alvarez and Foden. So Saka is definitely going to go out of my team, but who will I bring in? I'm thinking ZH for sure. I'm also thinking of going with my biased hat on and going with someone like a Trossard or a Havertz. Is that team strong enough to Havertz? Let's see. I think Havertz is playing in midfield, obviously. So how much is Havertz in this game? Havertz has started scoring recently a lot. So Havertz. And Havertz is a striker in the game. Oh no. Havertz is a striker in the game. So yeah, my first transfer is done. I'm going to go with ZH. ZH in, Saka out. So where is ZH? Bro, don't let me down, man. Please do not let me down because there's a lot of players I can go for. I can go for Sane, I can go for Musiala, but I've chosen ZH. Please don't let me down, ZH. Please, I'm begging you, don't let me down. ZH is in my team. ZH is the first transfer. Saka out, ZH in. There you go. Confirmed transfer. Absolutely. There you go. My first transfer is made. ZH is in the lineup. Good. Let's go back to the transfer tab. So one transfer is made. ZH is in. Let me see if you're going to get any more team news. Ryan, that option for Torres is very good, Ryan. And I feel like Sevilla are going to get a win or something. Is there any news on Man City or something? So Barcelona have added Gundogan, Lewandowski, and Araujo in their squad list, but not because they're going to play. It's because they're going on holiday after that. What? What the hell is that? Hamad says Rodrigo or Kane captain, if any. By the way, if I've answered your question, make sure to hit the like button and support the channel. Rodrigo, Kane captain, if any of them don't get points, I'll give it to Mbappe. Do you think it's a good idea? Yes. Mbappe for sure tomorrow is going to play, so I think it's better to go for someone who's definitely going to play. So are you going for any Arsenal players who are starting? Are you thinking of going with Ramsdale? If you're playing a wildcard or a limitless, Ramsdale could be a good option for you. Cedric, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior, Jorginho, Nani, Havertz, Trossard, Nketiah, and Nelson. The only other worry is how long is Saliba going to play for? That is my only other worry. Rodrigo, Kane, captain, if any of them. Yes, so I've answered that one already. I'm really thinking of bringing in an Arsenal player, Foden. The only thing I'm worried about is because like I'm 200th in rank. If I go for an Arsenal play and they don't deliver, I drop down the rank. Now I'm scared of picking and taking risks. Foden Alvarez. Any news on them? Usually Man City news comes very late on, so maybe you could get even news like 5 minutes before the deadline. But so far there's nothing on Foden or Alvarez. So I think for this, I think my midfield is set. Maybe if we hear any news on Foden. Defensively, Saliba is starting. I think Lewis will start. Di Lorenzo will start. Cancelo is a wide. Goalkeepers are not going to change. Yeah, a lot of people are asking those accounts, Man City accounts on Twitter, if Foden and Alvarez are playing. Oh, this guy has all the news. This guy has just tweeted one player. Since a lot of you play Champions League fantasy, whichever player gets the most comments, I'll reveal if they're starting or not. So a lot of people are asking him Foden or Alvarez. So let's wait and see if there's any news on Foden and Alvarez. We'll get news on Foden or Alvarez for sure before the deadline. So him, Ran. Let's not rush in terms of the transfers. Last time I rushed and I missed his tweet, and he told us Haaland is not playing that time, I think, or Haaland is playing. That was like 2 days ago. So he's going to give us news on either Foden or Alvarez. So let's wait and see. Do I give Kane captain? It's better than Rodriguez in that, right? I'd say yes, Ahmed. Will Felix play? Says Mitchell. I'd say no. If he plays, maybe 45 minutes. I personally think Foden will not start. He has started 7 games in a row. We'll get that news before the deadline, so let's wait and see. I also don't see the need of him playing, to be honest. I don't see the need of him playing at all. These deadline streams are usually very important because we usually get late news. Should I take Rodri for ZH? Should I take out Roy? Oh, for sure, 100%, Baron, 100%. He said to sell Haaland 5 hours ago. Yes, for the people who have Haaland, I don't even think Haaland is going to play this weekend. We need that news on Foden or Alvarez, one of them. So I think we're probably going to get news on Foden. That's what a lot of people are asking for. So we might not get any news on Alvarez, but Foden for sure. How do we make these people like this our friends, man? Like, he has the whole team like 2 days before. The thing, I usually feel like sometimes maybe is it cheating? Because some people usually have the team news before, like days before. I don't know. Obviously, some people have an advantage because they can know now if Haaland is going to play this weekend. But at least they do give us some of the news. I mean, they could just be mean and not tell us anything. That's incredible. Says Ulrich out for Pena or Cancelo out for Di Lorenzo. I'd go for Di Lorenzo. Sudakov or Timber, Alvarez or Morata, who would you bring in for Rome? Sudakov or Timber, I'd go for Sudakov. Alvarez or Morata, I'd go for Morata. Who would you bring in for Rome? I'd say Augusto. Rome is very cheap, so I don't think you can get to Augusto. I'd say Damian. I think he's going to start for Inter Milan. Osimhen for Alvarez. Yes. If you have time, Alpha, I'll wait on that. Let's wait for like another 30 minutes if you get any Man City team news. Mayan and Ramiro, good options as goalkeepers. Ramiro is. Both of them are, because both of them have something to play for. How do you feel about Trossard, says Mitchell? He's been good for us in the Champions League, so I'm worried about the rest of the team, though. El Neni, Jorginho, Nketiah, Nelson. I predicted a 2-2 for that game. It's a good differential. It's a good differential, Mitch. I'd consider him, but I'm also considering Havertz, to be honest. Did you see the Eddie Howe response for the injuries? Is Rayhan? Eddie Howe, let me see. Eddie Howe. Lautaro says, Johnny, the predicted lineups are saying that he's not going to play. They're saying that Sanchez is going to start up front. Newcastle's second choice goalkeeper is also injured. God, who are they going to play? Karius? Anthony Gordon, Dubravka, and Longstaff available for Newcastle for tomorrow. Eddie Howe says he's trying to manage fitness. Oh, he's not giving us any answer. He's being secretive. You're welcome, Ahmad. Gundogan for Foden. I doubt Foden plays. Let's wait for the Foden news. We are going to get that news before the deadline. Let's wait for that one. I also doubt he's playing, but in case we are shocked and he's going to play, they're playing such an easy team. Like Red Stars not been. They've not been trashed, but I'm expecting Man City to score at least 3 goals in that game. So you don't want to take out Foden, and then we hear that he's going to play. Should I keep Morata? Yes, Mitchell, for sure. Which of the 3 should I transfer out? Foden, Siemens, or Rom? Again, Baron, let's wait. Let's wait for the Foden news. But if you aren't getting any Foden news, if you're to ask me which one to transfer out, funny enough, I'd still say Foden. But let's wait and see if he's going to play. Leard, hello. I need Haaland and Mendes replacements. Icardi, what's the best for Icardi? For up to 19.4 million. Icardi and Thuram. You'll even have change with that, Leard. You can even buy yourself something. Grealish, good option. I think he will play because they don't have any other options. Doku is injured. I think he will play, so I'd say yes. But again, let's wait for the Man City team news, Johnny. You think Cancelo will play? I think he will, but I don't think he'll play 90 minutes. I'm thinking 45 or 50 minutes. Kane, Sane, or Alvarez will play. I think Kane and Sane will definitely play. Alvarez, absolutely no idea. Mbappe or who else? But in terms of captain or just replacements? If you're looking for strikers, Mbappe, Icardi, those would be the options, Mitchell. I know there's a 30-second thing on the chat, so you can't send any messages because I'm avoiding spamming. I can reduce that. I can reduce. Let me take out that reduce that time limit so that you guys are able to send the comments faster. So yeah, I've reduced that by half. So you won't have to wait for too long to ask another question. Mitchell says striker. Mbappe is a good option. Icardi is a good option. Are you willing to take risks enough? I dare you to take Havertz because I think he's definitely going to score today. What do you think of DiMarco? I think they said he's going to start with Augusto and Damian and Achebi. I mean, when he starts, he's very good as a left wing back. Very, very good. So I think it's a good option, Alpha. Is Osimhen a good option? He is, but he wouldn't be in my top 3 options, to be honest. Johnny says Trossard for Saka. Makes sense. I've gone for ZH, though. We are waiting on the Man City team news. I still have 2 transfers. I'm definitely not going to change the goalkeepers. I'm waiting to hear if Foden is going to play. I'm slightly worried about this Rodrigo one. Is he really going to play? Because there's so many other options that I can go for. Just look at how much money I have in the bank. 4.6 million. Like, I can take out Rodrigo for anyone I want. So I'd be very annoyed if I left him in the team and he didn't play. For me, Lopez, good option, I think, because Barcelona guaranteed qualifying. Yeah, they're guaranteed qualifying. I mean, I think Ferran Torres will play. I think Lopez could play as well. I think he scored in one of the match days. Was it like match day 2? I think did he score against Shakhtar or someone? Let me see. Barcelona. Yeah, I think he scored in one of the match days, if I'm not crazy. Yeah, he scored and assisted against Shakhtar in match day 3. And he scored a goal from outside the box as well. I think he will play. I think since they're through, he will play. And how much is he? He's only 4.7 million. So if you're looking for you don't have enough cash, players like Lopez could be good options. So I do agree with you, Ezra. I have Kane, Griezmann, and Alvarez. One transfer left. Should I bring in Morata or Icardi for Alvarez? I'd go for Icardi. Since because Icardi is a very good option, that group has a lot of goals, and also because you already have Griezmann, so I'm not really ready to double up on Atletico. Zaha, I'd prefer ZH, but also Zaha is not a bad option, but I'd honestly prefer Icardi and ZH in front of him. And Kenya one. Thoughts on Mbappe plus Trossard? Sounds good, Liad. What do you think of Kane? He's definitely going to play. Kane is definitely going to play and he's definitely going to score. Like, there's no chance of that Man United keeping out Kane. Absolutely no chance. If he plays even for 45 minutes, he's definitely going to score. Sorry, Man United fans, but that is the reality right now. I think many Man United fans would agree with me. Oh, you meant he's away from home. It doesn't matter. He absolutely doesn't matter. Man United have just lost 3-0 to Bournemouth at home, 3-0 to Newcastle at home, 3-0 to Man City at home. It doesn't matter even if they were playing in Spain or France or Austria. It doesn't matter at all. But last UCL match didn't. Yeah, that was a weird one. They drew 0-0. They should have had a penalty though, Bayern Munich. But Alpha is playing against Man United. That's the difference. Johnny says Munoz. Who is that? Oh, which Munoz are you talking about? Because there's 2 of them. I'm guessing you're talking about the one. Yeah, you're talking about the other one doesn't really play. There's a Real Sociedad midfield defender. Okay. Clean sheet. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet against Inter Milan. They'll definitely concede. Ball recoveries, 1 ball recovered, 6 balls recovered, 9 balls recovered. I've never really had a Real Sociedad defender in my team. I mean, it could be a good option. How much is he? 4.8. I mean, it's not a bad option, Monos, although I think they will concede. Your top 3 midfielders to up to 7.9 million. That is very specifically, very, very specific. How much is ZH? Hopefully doesn't pass that. ZH is definitely there. That's such a tough one. I'm looking for players who have something to play for. I usually don't like risking players who don't have something to play for, but ZH should definitely be there. I'd potentially go for. I'll still stick with Bellingham. I hope his price has not gone up. I'll still stick with Bellingham, because of how highly owned he is. If you take him out, if you don't have him, any scores in a bit of trouble. So the 2 that I have there, ZH and Bellingham, and you know what? Go for Trossard, Liad. Differential. Real Sociedad player. Yep. Do you think Hamels will play? If not, who should I bring in? I already have Di Lorenzo, Rom, Saliba, and Davies. Di Lorenzo, Rom, Saliba, Davies. I'd be looking to bring in an Inter Milan defender. I think Man United will score. Not Man United. Again, I'm in the wrong team. My head always tells me Hamels is a Bayern Munich player. He was a Bayern Munich player. He is now a Dortmund player. I think PSG will score against Dortmund. But I'd have the likes of Achebe instead of him. The Inter Milan defenders. Achebe, Damian, one of them. But I think he will play. I don't think they'll want to lose, even though they've already gone through. I think they will go with their strong defense. Although I think PSG will score. Tuamen, Kvadono, ZH, and Sani. And I like the second option, Quentin. ZH, Trossard, Brahim, ZH. Which two of Marcus Thuram, Foden, Trossard, Galeno, Mario would you pick? Galeno. I'd go Galeno, and again, very tough. I'm very tempted to say Mario, but he's away from home, so I'd go for Galeno and Thuram because there's news that Thuram is definitely going to start. So Foden, we still don't know unless we get news on Foden very soon. I'd go for Galeno and Thuram. That's also a very good question, Josh. Very good question. It's very close. Like I've chosen Thuram, but it's like 51% to Mario 49%. I think Grealish will play because Doku is injured. I think so too. Barcelona assets you think are good. Yamal maybe, and Lopez as well, as someone pointed out early, and maybe Ferran Torres. Defensively, I wouldn't go for their defenders if you're looking to make transfers. But I have Cancelo and I'm going to keep him because I have other problems to solve. Replacement for Haaland and Saka, Icardi for sure up front, and then midfield, the edge. Oh, you can even go for Thuram, one of those ones. Mbappe, replacement for Haaland and Saka, Mbappe and Rodrigo, Sane, Kvaratskhelia. Okay, you've given me the options, Camille. I didn't finish your comment. I'd go for Mbappe, yes. I like the Mbappe Kvaratskhelia. If from those four, I'd go for Mbappe Kvaratskhelia. But if you want Mbappe, Rodrigo, Mbappe, Sane, Kvaratskhelia. Grealish or Galeno, I'd go for Galeno. Johnny. Let's see if there's any news on Foden. Still nothing. Man, they like waiting until the last minutes. I mean, we still have around 44 minutes before the deadline. Did I miss any question? I don't think so. So you're waiting to see if they're going to get any news on Foden or Alvarez. Yes, Alpha Man still play tomorrow night, but there's someone who usually has team news, and they've asked us a question. Which player do you want me to give you news on? He was very early with the Haaland news over the weekend. He told us that Haaland wasn't going to play against Luton like a day before. So yeah, we are going to have news on Foden before in the next 40 minutes. Will Bellingham play? I imagine he will play, but I don't think he'll play the 90 minutes. Summer will play, I'd say yes for sure. It looks like the City lineup will be Ortega. I think Ortega Moreno will play. Gomez, Vardy, Lake, Lewis. I think it could be something like that. I actually agree. Phillips, Kovacic, Grealish. I think we'll see that. Yes, the forward line is the tricky one because they have the option of going with the Nunes guy they signed from Wolves. He can start instead of Grealish or Foden or Alvarez. That's really the only option. I have a feeling one of Alvarez and Foden will start, but we have to wait and see who. Ezra says Foden, yes. We were waiting to see Foden news. But even if we hear that Foden is not playing, I still need to make another transfer. Ram. When is Ram is playing tomorrow as well. 13th. I think I'll definitely go for an Arsenal attacker, either Havertz or Trossard. I'm just waiting to see who's going to. So I guess it depends on who is going to be transferred, who's going to not start. If we hear that Alvarez is not starting, then I'm going to go with Havertz. If Foden is not the one who's not starting, then potentially Trossard. Johnny says Oscar Bob. That's the other one. Yeah, that's the other youngster who can play for Man City as well. So they have Nunes on the bench. They have Oscar Bob as well who can play. I don't know if he's going to rotate totally. Best attack this match day, I have Limitless. Strikers, I'd go for Icardi, Kane, and Morata. Best of luck to you too. Sad and tired. Hopefully not sad and tired of this match day. I think I'll take a -8. Oh my goodness, Ezra. I hate taking hits, especially in Champions League fantasy. Unless your team is absolutely doomed and you have like 6 players, then you can do it. J-Verb, good evening. Havertz and Trossard starting? Yes, they're both starting. And one of them is probably going to be starting for my team. I'm just waiting to hear about Alvarez and Foden. Only 7 players playing. Wow, that's what is your team? How is your team looking like, Ezra? Which players do you have? 7 players? Only 7 players? Surely not. Maybe if you've assumed some of them, I think you sent your team earlier. Oh yeah, I sent your team earlier. Let me see. Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, Trippier, Saliba, Dumfries. I mean, Dumfries is injured. That's one. I mean, Saliba is playing. Trippier will play. Diaz, I think, will not play. So 2. Cancelo might play. So 3. Lopez might play. 4. I think Sane will play. 5. Bellingham, I think, will play. I don't see the reason why he traveled, but I think he'll be subbed off early. So I'd say 6. Alvarez, tricky one. Morata will play 7. Kane will play 8. I don't think you need to take a -8. Let me see. 1, 2. Obviously, you need to take out Dumfries and Mendes. And that will take you to like almost 10, 11 players. I don't think you can take a -4 and have 12 players. I don't think -8 is I feel like -8 is too much, to be honest. Our midfielders from Final do Porto good. Yeah, the likes of Galeno are good, and Stengs. It's called Stengs as well. Saka to Foden or Coman, also Gabriel or Tripp. You already have Saliba. I would not double up on Arsenal defense. I think PSV will definitely score. I don't want them to score, but I think they will score. Gabriel or Trippier. So I'd go for Trippier. Saka to Foden or Coman. Hold your horses on that one, Jerome. You're waiting to hear whether Foden is going to play or not. You're going to have that news soon. But if you aren't getting any news, I'd probably go for Coman because Gnabry is injured. Is it time to use wildcard or should I stay for later? Mithun, it depends on how your team is looking like. If you have Haaland and you have Mendes and you have Ruben Diaz and you have Odegaard and all these players who might not play and are not playing, then I'd play my wildcard. But if you have like 12 players and you have Griezmann and you have Morata and you have an Inter Milan player and you have maybe Saliba in your team and you have maybe Ram in your team, I'd be happy to save it. But this is a very good time to play it if you have too many risks in your team, because you can just go with, you can have 15 players and most people are not going to have 15 players. Diaz, no. Which Diaz are you talking about? Yeah, Diaz is a no as well. I think he's not going to play. But from those players, from that team, it looks like 9 or 10 of your players will play. 7 definitely, and then maybe 3 that could. My team is not looking good. Haaland, Mendes, Dumfries injured, Patrick doubtful, and Saka on the bench. Wow. Have you made any transfers yet? I mean, definitely need to take out Haaland, Mendes, and Saka. Dumfries is also injured. So do you have any chips remaining, Javo? I wouldn't take them all of them out though. So the thing I'd do with your team, because Saka is playing today, and we already at least know he's on the bench, I'd keep Saka in the team, if this makes sense. I'd keep Saka in the team just in case he comes on, because there's a chance he might come on and get an assist, and then that's good. But for the others, they're totally injured, so they're definitely out. So I'd take out Haaland, Mendes, and Dumfries, and then keep Saka, because Saka is not injured. The others are injured. That is if you don't want to take hits. If you want to take hits, then you can take out Saka. Saka to Foden, answer that one. Almiron is good choice. I'd say yes, Sergio. Newcastle are very tired though, and AC Milan have been keeping a lot of clean sheets since last season in the Champions League. They also kept a clean sheet, but Newcastle are very different at home. So I think Almiron is a good option. Although I would choose Gordon ahead of Almiron, but he's a good option, Sergio. -4 for which midfielder? Thuram is an option from Inter Milan, but I'd probably go for ZH as the first option if you can afford him, Ezra. Bot 2. Kane, Mbappe, Morata. That looks good. Bellingham. I think that looks good as well. I really like the Molina pick. Molina has been very good this season in the Champions League. We are waiting to see whether Foden is going to play or not. So have you made your subs, Bot? How we can have news early on Man City? We are, because there are people who usually have the news, and they already told us Haaland is out for tomorrow, and they're going to tell us one more player on Twitter. One Inter Milan defender. If you can afford him, I'd go for Augusto. He's 6 million. But Damian is also great. Emre or ZH? I'd go for ZH. Emre is just coming back, and their game is not easy away at Dortmund, so I'd go for ZH. Forward line looks okay. Chananoglu, ZH, Sudakov, Rice. Rice is not playing, Johnny. And I don't think he's going to come on. I don't want him to come on as well. Di Lorenzo, Diaz might be rotated. Do you have, let me know, Johnny, do you have how many transfers you have? Inter Milan lineup already out here. I saw that from Inter Extra, J1. I think they had Chananoglu there, right? Inter Extra, where are you? Whenever you need these guys, it doesn't pop up. Whenever you're not interested in the fantasy, that's when you find these guys with all the team news. Should I keep or sell Chananoglu? Let me see the Inter Milan team. So Inter Extra have confirmed that the Inter team is. Load quickly, come on. Damian, Achebe, Augusto, Cuadrado, Fratesi, Chananoglu, Mkhitaryan, Di Marco, Sanchez, Thuram. So Chananoglu will play according to Inter Extra. So I would keep him. Yes, because he's on penalties as well. Is Zielinski good? Better than Trossard? I'd say yes, because Napoli have a home game. I'd say yes. Just used my wildcard last week. So you have 2 transfers, Javen. Yes, so I would take out Haaland and Dumfries. And then take out Haaland and Dumfries and let me know how many players you have after that. I'd go for one of ZH or Icardi if you want a midfielder or striker. And then the likes of Morata, all options as well. If you're taking out Dumfries, you can go for Augusto or Damian as well. I'm going to answer all the questions before the deadline. We have around 30 minutes to go. I'll leave like 5 minutes earlier because I need to go watch the Arsenal game. ZH or Foden for Limitless? ZH. Best captain option for both nights, says Nolly. I'd say Harry Kane and Bellingham today. Tomorrow, it depends on which Man City players are playing. If Foden starts, I'd go for Foden. That's what I'm waiting to hear. But for the ones who are confirmed to play, I'd probably say Mbappe. Yeah, probably Mbappe and Griezmann or Morata. Xavi Simons not playing, says Alpha. I wouldn't expect him to play, but there's always an option of him starting and getting subbed off early. 3 signings because they have a lot of injured players, says Johnny. So, yeah, you definitely need to check out which one is injured there. Have you already made those 3 transfers? Okay, I guess you mean you've already made those 3 transfers. Trossard for Mendes, good option. Yes, Ezra. Thinking of selling Kane to Mbappe, suggest a 5.5 million midfield instead of Trippier. I would not check out Kane. Kane is going to definitely score. He's playing against a very Man United team that is very not confident at the moment. I'm expecting Bayern to score at least 3 goals in that game. Harry Kane is on penalties. I predicted Bayern 3, Man United 2. So Bayern is definitely going to play from what Tuchel is saying. 5.5 million defender. I'd go for Achebi. I think is around that price, or cheaper actually. Achebi, or let me go into Milan. I'm sure when you say 5.5, it don't necessarily mean it has to be 5.5. Bastoni will not play. I don't think so. So DiMarco is an option 5.4, and also Achebi 4.5. So I think DiMarco is the best because he's left wing back. It looks like Rodri will play. Even if he does, he'll be subbed off at halftime. That's the thing. It's very important for them. He doesn't need to play because they have Phillips and they have Kovacic in midfield. Literally, they do not need to win that game. And Guardiola knows if he gets injured again, they are doomed. But if he plays, I wouldn't expect him to play 90 minutes. Nope. Also, benched players like Saka. Saka, you might be lucky with that one. He might come on. Stengs, Dumfries, Haaland, and Mendes injured. I think I saw somewhere that that Stengs is available. Let me confirm that for you. Dumfries, Haaland, and Mendes are definitely out. Stengs. Where are you, Stengs? Stengs is fit. Philippe, Stengs is fit. He's going to play. And news on Foden, not yet. Mitchell, we are still waiting. It could be very last minute. It could be in the last 15 minutes. So we have to be very quick in terms of making the transfers. I'm taking out Mendes and Haaland, so about 17.5 million for attack and midfield. So yeah, you can go for Icardi and Thuram, or Icardi and Trossard. You can even go for Havertz if you want. Havertz has been scoring a lot recently. Tuka minus 16. Minus 16. It hurts me. Like the fact that you've said that, it hurts me before even reading the rest of your comments. To get players who are playing, wish me luck. Oh, you're going to need a lot of luck. You're going to need a couple of hat tricks, a couple of clinches, and potentially your goalkeeper to score a goal as well. How many players did you have which players did you have? Haaland and all those guys? I don't like. I've never taken a minus, and I've been playing Champions League fantasy for 6 years, and I've never taken a hit, not once, never. There's a time I played with 10 players because I just didn't want to take it at all. Timber for Sudakov, Hamels for Damian, or Alvarez for Icardi. Only one transfer left. Timber for Sudakov. I mean, Fine would have something to play for, so I'd keep him. Hamels for Damian or Alvarez for Icardi. I'm going to go for Alvarez for Icardi. Pa says Mbappe, Morata, Alvarez, or Barca attacker. Choose two. I'd go for Mbappe and Morata. Molina or Di Lorenzo for Dumfries. I really like Molina. If you can afford Molina, I'd go for Molina because they can keep a clean sheet. I think he's assisted a couple as well already, and recovery points as well. So I'd go for Molina. Very close. Also, Di Lorenzo is always a good option for sure. I won't risk it with Foden. Final decision: Trossard or Kvaratskhelia. Will Trossard play forward? Trossard will play left wing. And then Ketty up front, and then Nelson on the right. So Trossard left. Will Trossard or Kvaratskhelia? I'd go for Kvaratskhelia, to be honest. Now, because I'm an Arsenal fan, I will go for an Arsenal player, but it's very risky because I think PSV is very tough. There's a big chance we could lose that game. So I'll just go for an Arsenal player because I'm an Arsenal fan. So, but I think there's better options. I think Kvaratskhelia is a better option than Trossard. Bayern will probably score and win, but the defense is still crap, says Javob. I think 4-3 or something. I've predicted 3-2, so you could be right. Jerome says, I don't know if Kane will start. I think he'll definitely start because he's back in England. I've heard how Tuchel has talked about him. He's happy to be in England. He cannot wait to play this game. He wants to send messages back to England. I think he will play. The fact that they lost by 5 goals the other day as well, I think Bayern seem to be going with a strong lineup. I'm thinking so as well. Maybe a couple of rotation. Yes, they could start with Muller or Tell here and there. Maybe one from Sane or Coman is benched. That is an option as well. Take a hit and trade. I never like saying that name. I've never known how to say it. For Trossard or ZH or someone else. For ZH. ZH is always the first option. I have changed Icardi for Griezmann. Oh wow, that's brave. Because that Icardi group, that Man United, Galatasaray, Bayern, Copenhagen group, it's full of goals. So I'm expecting Galatasaray to win that game 3-2 as well. Bayern have a crisis after the game in the weekend. Kane will start. They need a win. Yeah, and sorry to Man United fans watching. He's going to be up against Player of the Month, Maguire. He's going to score. Harry Kane is going to score 100%. Top three midfield for Limitless says Afonso. ZH, Kvaratskhelia, ZH, Kvaratskhelia, and I'd still go with Bellingham. Calvin Phillips might not play. Phillips cover Nunes in midfield. I think that will be the midfield as well, Ray. And I'm thinking that the forward line is just because Man City don't really have enough players. Maybe that is why both Alvarez and Foden, maybe one of them is going to start. Let's wait and see. Raul arrested, maybe could be, but I'm not going to take him out. I'm going to keep him in my team because there's other players who are too much of more risky than him. Ken or Bellingham as captain today. I'm going to go for Kane personally. Bellingham, Phil, who should be captain for game. From those two, I'd go for Bellingham, Phil, who should be captain for game day one. I mean, Phil Foden is playing tomorrow. If you want, I'd go for Bellingham from your choices. The thing is, there's no problem with going with Bellingham today because he's playing on the Tuesday. So there's no problem with risking it as long as you have someone who's definitely going to play tomorrow. Make sure to hit the like button if I've answered your question, by the way. Is it worth taking a -4 for De Lorenzo instead of Ruben Diaz? I don't like taking it for defenders, but for that particular one, De Lorenzo usually gets it gets forward a lot. So we've gotten news, but it's not Foden news. It's Alvarez news. Alvarez is not playing for Man City tomorrow. So he's not giving us Foden news. Come on. Okay, so I guess we can think for ourselves. If Alvarez is not playing, potentially Foden could play. Can you really leave Alvarez and Foden out and they don't have Doku and Haaland as well? Who will play? Let me see. Alvarez is not playing for Man City tomorrow. Haaland is not playing as well, so they don't have a striker. The only person who can play as a false nine is Foden, right? Because Doku is also not there. Grealish could play. I'm thinking maybe Grealish, Bernardo Silva, and Foden. I would keep Foden. I'm going to keep Foden. So if you have Foden, I'd keep him. There's a huge chance he could play. Since Alvarez is not there and Haaland is not there, he's the only one who can play as a false nine. I think Foden will play. Or he will at least play some minutes in that game. So that's the news. Alvarez is not going to play tomorrow. I've already used wildcard. Should I use my limitless this week? Yes, for sure. Dosing 100%. Use it right now. Go and play it right now. You're in a very advantageous position. Turns out I had 3 free transfers, so I did Haaland. Oh, well done, Felipe. You saved 1 transfer just like me. Well done. It's always very safe to save 3 transfers. Haaland, Mendes, Dumfries to Rodrigo, Trossard, Cancelo. Haaland, Dumfries. Is Rodrigo going to play, though? I'm so worried about Rodrigo. Haaland, Mendes, Dumfries, outside is good. So you've brought in Rodrigo, Trossard, and Cancelo. I'd potentially have gone with the card instead of Rodrigo, but fair enough. Sommer, Providel, Di Lorenzo, Kim, Alvarez, Rodrigo. Goalkeeper is fine. Defense, I don't think Diaz will play. Stengs, Bellingham, Trossard. Stengs, Bellingham, Trossard. That is fine as well. Siemens, I'm not sure if he's going to play. Çalhanoğlu will play. Kane will play. Alvarez is not going to play. Felipe. Alvarez is not playing. So I'm going to come to the rest of your comments. Johnny says Maguire MVP. So yeah, I'm going to take out Alvarez right now. Alvarez out. Which strike am I going to bring in, man? I have 11.8 million. I am really thinking of bringing in Havertz, but I'm also thinking, should I not be stupid and just go for someone who's definitely going to score? Is there any? Which strikers are there? I'm coming to the rest of your comments. Don't worry, guys. I want to make a transfer as well. Or should I be stupid and just go for someone like Nketiah? Nah, I'm not going to do that. I can even go for Mbappe if I want. Vinicius, Griezmann. I can go for Griezmann if I want as well. Atletico Madrid have a lot to play for, right? Yeah, they've not gone through yet. This is so hard. I have one striker spot and I am thinking of bringing in Griezmann. I'm thinking of bringing in Mbappe. Icardi maybe not because they have Ziyech. Oh, this is going to be so hard. So here are the options: Kane to Mbappe, and Silva to Trippier and Molina. Else keep Kane and remove them. What do you suggest? So here are the options: Kane to Mbappe. I'd keep Kane. Jerome, I'd 100% keep Kane. Silva to Trippier. That's okay. I'd go for Molina ahead of Trippier, or else keep Kane and remove Ivanovic. So I'd keep Kane. I'd take that option. Remove Ivanovic for Siemens and Silva to Damian. That sounds good because I definitely keep Kane in the team. So second option now, Jerome. Alvarez is not starting. Yes. Foden is not giving us any news on Foden. Literally, this guy asked us, which player do you want any news on? And everyone said Foden, and then he gave us news on Alvarez. I guess they're not allowed to give out the full team, obviously. They've not given us option news on Foden, unfortunately, Akere. But I'm thinking since Alvarez is not playing and Haaland is not playing and Doku is not playing, I'm thinking surely Foden is going to play. They don't have many options up front. If he plays, I'm thinking 50 to 60 minutes and then he gets subbed off. I'm thinking so as well. So I'm going to keep Foden. Captain Kane or Bellingham, I'm captaining Kane. He's crazy, says Ezra. Rico as an attacking midfielder. Yeah, I'm thinking as well. Same. I'm definitely going to keep him. Will Çalhanoğlu actually perform better? Performing better, I'm going to go for Çalhanoğlu because he's on penalties as well. And in terms of recovery points and all that, I think Çalhanoğlu will get more points. I don't think it's going to be that much. I'm thinking 1 or 2 points between them. -8 for sure, says Ezra. Best captain for today, I'm going to go for Kane. You think taking out Alvarez then? Yeah, I'm definitely taking him out. That's incredible, says, damn it! I just confirmed my transfers and left Alvarez. He might be on the bench. Maybe that's a thing that is as well. Maybe it could be on the bench. What do you think about Molina? For sure, very good option. I have Alvarez. Oh my God, says Ezra. Griezmann, Icardi, Kane. I'm still trying to choose between them. But if from those three, I'd go for Kane. I already have Kane. So I'm trying to choose between Griezmann and Icardi. Not Icardi, sorry. I'm trying to choose between Griezmann and Mbappe. I'm even thinking Havertz. You're going to keep Foden? Yes. I'm picking Ziyech for midfield, so I have 12.3 million for a striker, and I think it's risky doubling up on Galatasaray with Icardi. I actually don't think it's risky. I think Galatasaray are going to score at least 2 goals. But Copenhagen kept a clean sheet against Bayern Munich. So, you could be right, Jevo. Maybe it's too risky. I'm not going to double up. I'm just going to have Ziyech. Limitless actives are just a change. Galeno. Simekan. You've gone for Simekan. Okay, interesting. Icardi, Kane, Grealish, Foden. I wouldn't change anyone, to be honest. Digitals. I'd keep everyone there. Maybe the only one I'd say maybe that you don't have. Is there any that you don't have? I think you have most of the players that I'd probably have if I had a limitless chip. Maybe do you have Icardi? You have Icardi, so yeah, you probably have me on most of the players that you have. For fun, you can go for Ramsdale if you want for fun because he's playing. Mbappe, you should bring in Mbappe or Havertz. I'm thinking about those two. I watched Dortmund against Leipzig. Leipzig scored 3 goals against them, so surely Mbappe is going to do something. I have 3 transfers. Kimmich, Foden. I'm keeping Foden. So maybe now I can afford to take out Cancelo, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm really thinking of taking out Rodrigo, to be honest. I'm really thinking of taking out Rodrigo because they have Joselu. Joselu could play and they could keep Rodrigo on the bench, surely. Some of you know Real Madrid more than me, but I'm thinking he's not going to go with both Bellingham and Rodrigo. Surely not. Joselu can play. He can start as a striker and Rodrigo can be left on the bench, surely. Mbappe. How many points has Mbappe scored so far? See, he's not been great this season. Griezmann or Mbappe? Griezmann or Mbappe? Who should I go for? Griezmann or Mbappe? Griezmann or Mbappe? I'm going to go for the safe guy. This guy has won a World Cup. I'm going to go for him. It's always safer to go for Mbappe. Yeah, that is my second transfer. Alvarez out, Mbappe in. Done. I'm going to stay with Mbappe. He's on penalties, and I feel like it's going to be a bit of an open game. Hopefully, he does score, and hopefully, because I was trying to choose between him and Griezmann and Morata, Mbappe is in my team. I think this is good. Kane, Mbappe. So Mbappe has come on and ZH has come on. I've taken out Saka and Alvarez. Let me try and answer most of your questions. Which city midfielder do you recommend for limitless? Wow. I'd say Grealish. Osimhen for Alvarez, yes. Johnny, that is a good option. So now I'm bringing in Rodrigo for Alvarez here in the news. This news suggests a 5 million defender, please. Damian. What about Musiala? I think Musiala might be on the bench because they can go with Mola there. They can go with Kane, Mola, Sane, and Coman. Or they can even go with Tel. So Musiala is a bit of a risk. Will Foden start? They've not given us that news, but I'm thinking because there's so many players out, he's going to play. You think Simon's rest? I think. Not completely 90 minutes, but I'm thinking he'll play like 45 minutes. Do you think Fran Garcia starts for Madrid? I'd say yes. -8. Johnny, what's your question? Are you like asking if you're taking a -8 or if you've already taken a -8? So my final team, Havertz for -4, for Alvarez, Kane, Morata, Lopez, Diaz, Cancelo, Molina, Sommer. That looks good. Havertz for -4 for Alvarez. Yeah, -4 is not the end of the world. -4 is fine. Who should I put in for Alvarez? Got 9 million left. Do you have Icardi, Baron? If you don't have Icardi, Icardi, Morata, Havertz in that order, because you can't afford Mbappe. I'm guessing if you can afford, you only got 1 million left. So yeah, Osimhen for Alvarez. Yes, Jay. All right, buddy says Sparta. Never mind. I want a 5 million midfielder now. Zubimendi or from Feyenoord. I'd go for Zubimendi from those two. Should I take or there's Lopez. There's Lopez from Barcelona. I think he's around that price. Is Kane to Mbappe worth it? No, I'd definitely keep Kane. Kane or Bellingham as captain, I'll go for Kane. Maybe Rafael as a striker. Newcastle have not been playing well. They do have a few players back, though. A few of their players are coming back. Leo could be. I don't expect AC Milan and Newcastle to be 3-3 or something. That will be like 1-0 or 1-1. That's the problem. Got ZH. So okay. Morata probably Baron then. Is Foden playing? I'd say yes, but it's not being confirmed. Kane, Mbappe, Kane. Diaz, Brahim Diaz, ZH or Foden. I'd go for ZH. Is good. Icardi, Morata, Kane, Galeno, Rice. Rice is not playing. The rest of the team, I'm only worried about Rice is not playing, and I'm worried about Diaz not playing. The rest of the team looks good. I need where is Arsenal? Where is Arsenal? Where is Arsenal? I'm thinking of bringing in one Arsenal player, man. Rodrigo's been on such good form, and I'm so scared of taking him out. He's been scoring goals and getting a lot of assists recently, and he's playing against Union Berlin, man. Rodrigo is one of the players who's given me this rank because I bought him in that match day 4 and he's helped me since a lot. Let me see if there's any other last minute news. Should I take a -4 and take out Simmons or Raum? I'd not take a -4 for that, Baron. I'd keep them. There's a chance they could play for even 1/2, and I think for someone like Simmons, even 1/2 is enough. If I change those, I go to -12. No, don't take a -12, Johnny. You have Blasic, winners, rounds, Cancino, I think your team is good enough. Even if you have 12, 13 players, that is good enough. Just leave Rice. Put Rice in your starting lineup for today in case he comes on and does something. If he doesn't, you just take him out for someone on the bench. Who do I pick amongst the 5 million defenders? Hamels, Hernandez, Rico Lewis, Jerome Lewis for sure. He's definitely going to play. Foden, Lewis. Let me see if there's any news on Bayern Munich before the deadline quickly. Make sure to hit the like button as well. We will have I'll react to the draw next week. I have to react on it on everything Arsenal, but I'm going to do a video after the draw, and then I'll give a couple of drafts after the draw as well. The draw is on Monday. Saka to who says Jack. Saka to Trossard if you want. Saka to ZH if you want. Those are all options. Which defender in for this day? For today. Do you have Saliba? I'd say Saliba. But if you're looking for a clean sheet, let me see. When is Di Lorenzo playing? I don't even have a clue. I think Di Lorenzo is great for today. Small change, Galeno for ZH. That's interesting. I would have ZH in front of Galeno, but I think Galeno is not a bad option as well. I've changed Rice for Saka because I had it before. I've changed Rice for Saka. You changed Rice for Saka. Okay, that was before. Okay. Wait, Saka. Yeah, put Saka Rice in the starting lineup just in case he comes on and does something. My squad: Kane, Rodrigo, Morata, Bellingham, and Foden. What do you think? That looks good. Most of your players, I think, will play. The only one is maybe Rodrigo, but also him, there's a chance he will play. Good luck to you too, Johnny. Are you sure between Lewis and Rom? Yes, I'm 100% sure because Lewis plays in midfield and he's a defender. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Hoping that I'm hoping I can get a rank of 150 plus. Rodrigo, Bellingham. Yep, I'm going to make that transfer, guys. I've decided. Rodrigo out, Havertz in. Done. Those are my transfers. Havertz is in my team. Done. I've taken out Rodrigo. Very, very risky, very stupid, but I'm going to go for the player who's definitely going to start. And there goes my team. Saliba, Havertz both starting, Kane, Mbappe. I'm going to captain Harry Kane. I think that is good enough, guys. I'm happy with that team. I'm really happy with that team. Let's hope it works out, man. Let's hope it works out. If you have any other questions after the match starts, if you just want to comment or anything, you can comment on this particular video right after. Kepa starting says FIFA bots. Interesting. Yep, time to go watch the Arsenal game. Kepa. Yeah, we have the Real Madrid team. Kepa. Oh, and I just took out Rodrigo. Oh my God. But Rodrigo is playing. I just took out Rodrigo 30 seconds ago, and then FIFA bots tells me Kepa is starting, and then Real Madrid's team is out as well. Rodrigo is playing. I've taken him out for Havertz. I hope I don't regret it. I have this bad feeling Rodrigo is going to score. Garcia is playing. Lucas Vasquez, Sabayas, Valverde, Joselu. Thankfully, Bellingham is playing. Bellingham is playing. Bellingham is playing. Alaba is playing as well. Nacho is playing. Modric is playing. Kepa is playing. Real Madrid's team is out. I've taken out Rodrigo. I've brought in Havertz. Hopefully, Rodrigo doesn't punish me too much. Let's see what happens. But I appreciate you guys. The deadline is hitting in the next 1 minute. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so they're all starting. Rodrigo, Joselu, Bellingham. Hoping Union Berlin does something for me. If I didn't take out, I wanted an Arsenal forward player, so that is why I had to take him out. You should have put Mbappe in. Mbappe is in my team. At least he wouldn't have been as disappointing as taking out Rodrigo. To have to be an Arsenal fan. He's in my team. Mbappe is in my team. Rodrigo with the hat trick, that will be very painful. But and I'm hoping Bellingham is the one who gets the goals, or Harvard scores twice, and I don't care about that at all. How is it, guys? Make sure you comment on if Rodrigo scores. Make sure to comment on this video and just laugh at me, because if Rodrigo scores, I think I drop down in rank. Best of luck to you too, FIFA boss. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.